Hello, Church of the Resurrection. Today is October the 2nd, and it is one of my favorite church gatherings of the year. Tonight is Blessing of the Animals. At 6:30, we'll be, weather permitting, we'll be out at the pavilion. If it's rainy or windy and gross, then we'll be in the parish hall. But it looks like we'll be able to be outside under the pavilion just fine. And I am so looking forward to that tonight. We always have such a good time. Bring your animals, bring your pets, and we will bless them. And nothing is off limits. Now there are a couple of people in my office that if you bring your snake with you, we'll probably have to peel them out of the rafters. Uh, but um, uh, but if you've got a pet or an animal, we will bless it. I've done horses and cattle, and I have done lizards and dogs and cats and mice and fish. I've done it all. So if you've got an animal, bring that animal, and we will bless it. I cannot promise that it will help with behavior, but hopefully it will not hurt any. Of course, we do this in honor of Saint Francis, and we always get to pray those beautiful prayers that are attributed to Saint Francis out of the prayer book, and we get to talk about the life of a really interesting saint in the church, one of the most influential saints to have ever lived, inspired entire cultures around his rule of life, the Franciscan rule of life, which of course, he founded the Franciscan order of monks and nuns who are known for their work among the poor and for their outstanding preaching, a lot like the Ignatians. And Saint Francis. Now I will say this about Saint Francis, that he gets, and I think he probably did say this, but I think he gets pinned with something that he didn't really mean to say. So apparently he said, and what is the quote? You know it. You know the quote. It's preach the gospel at all times, and if necessary, use words. And he did say that, but that does not mean for a moment that he didn't mean don't use words, because he was renowned for his preaching. He was a dynamic, outstanding preacher, known throughout what we would now call Southern Italy, and eventually across all the Christian world. And he did say, live your life so that you don't have to tell people constantly what you are and what you believe. But don't think for a minute that he didn't use those words when he needed to. We've been talking a little bit in church lately about the fact that Episcopalians are we're different from a lot of the Christian world. A lot of preachers across, especially in the U.S., have to remind people not to talk the talk if you're not going to walk the walk. And I think that sometimes in the Episcopal Church, we have to remind our folks the opposite of that, which is you're doing a good job walking the walk. Thank you for walking the walk. Continue to walk the walk, but don't forget to talk the talk, right? We're quiet Christians for the most part in the Episcopal Church, and it is okay to be a quiet Christian, except when you need to use your words. So today, when we're blessing those animals and we're thinking about St. Francis, we will also remind ourselves to always live like a Christian, but at times you do need to use words. Preach the gospel always, and when necessary, use words. And sometimes it is necessary. Okay, I'll see you at 6:30 tonight with your animals. We will not have dinner tonight. It's just too hard to have a potluck dinner with 30 puppy dogs at your feet. So we'll gather at 6:30 in the pavilion, and we'll bless those animals, and then I will see you also on Sunday morning.